Jay Prince, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're 60 years old and you trying to be a street nigga, you failed. My name is Mace. I stand by this message. We not your little niggas. Like the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. For real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas. So we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't. And for me, I never respected niggas in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got. Who is this nigga? That's how I feel listening to this, man. Like,
Jay Prince has a message for both of y'all with your comments after what you guys had to say about Shakur. He said, numbers don't lie, haters do. Let their haters say that he's boring and nobody wants to watch him. Sorry to tell you, it's just a select few of you haters. As you can see, there's proof that he has the #1 ratings in any fight on ESPN this year, the top 3 ratings since 2022. And to all of you haters who want to escalate that hate outside of the ring, I'm Shakur's manager and I handle all his business outside of the ring. In other words, Cam and Mace, I will fade all his shots and take all bets.
so then we talking to you then, all right? We starting with you. Since you the big homie, we starting with you. That's how it goes around here. I want to just start off by saying you are so lacking self-awareness. Like when you give such a lackluster performance and then you think you can make threats to people because you gave a lackluster performance, pause. You don't have the right to tell me what I should like or to tell Cam what he should like. That's not your place.
I love Mace saying, like, who is he? What's happening?
Mace smoked it.
What's happening right now? They both worded it, and it still seemed respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They didn't get out of pocket.
Yeah.
They didn't get out of pocket.
They seemed
They
like
were just telling the truth.
Mace didn't actually go there. Mace's victory in half of the viral It's What It Is crew aimed at one of the most feared men in the culture, shocking the whole hip-hop community. Jay Prince. Yes, that Jay Prince, the Houston mogul who founded Rap-A-Lot Records, is a well-known figure in the industry and on the streets. That man is never publicly called out, but Mace did it live on television while grinning as if he had nothing to lose. The video went viral right away. The fact that Mace really said that aloud astounded fans. Everything happened during Mace and Cameron's customary segment, in which they make jokes about the newest hip-hop news stories. Suddenly, the topic of discussion shifted to how some traditional employers still attempt to manipulate rather than mentor the younger generation. Some of these OGs still think they can scare people with their name, Mace added, leaning closer and grinning. That is manipulation, not respect. I'm talking to whoever still thinks they're the boogeyman of hip-hop, even down in Houston, he said after pausing and staring directly into the camera. Boom. The internet abruptly lost it. Everyone was aware of who he was referring to. Prince Jay. That clip went viral in a matter of minutes. Every gossip page, blog, and timeline came alive. Jay Prince was constantly being tagged by people asking, "Are you going to allow Mace to speak to you in that manner?" Because Mace is generally calm, a smooth talker, full of jokes and never sloppy. Fans were astounded. However, his tone was piercing this time, and you could sense the pain in what he was saying. He didn't stop there, which is the crazy part. When Cameron attempted to shift the subject later in the same episode, Mace chuckled and remarked, "I'm just sick of people acting like they're untouchable. No one is above being examined." After gasping, the audience began applauding as if they had realized that history was being made. Everyone felt as though Mace had just lobbed a live grenade into hip-hop. Here's what made it even bizarrer. Rapper Jay Prince is not a well-known figure. He is legendary, a man with an established reputation. The person responsible for creating rap OT albums, safeguarding artists, and, depending on who you ask, frightening some people in the process. It seemed as though someone had finally spoken what others had merely whispered when Mace questioned that vision. While some admirers referred to it as career suicide, others termed it courageous. In any case, it had the entire culture locked in. Silent respect was the foundation of Jay Prince's brand. But with a single bold sentence, Mace broke that stillness.
You 60. What are you talking about? What are you bro, I lost mad respect for you because I used to have mad respect for you. when you had Shakur with you, when you lined young boy NBA up? Why the fuck you got Shakur with you? And this is why he acting like that. This is exactly why he acting like that. Talking about you got young boy NBA umbrellas and his keys to his car. Young boy NBA told y'all eat a dick. This is what he said. This is what young boy NBA said. Whack 100 was the most disrespect. Wild disrespect. I ain't even gonna repeat this Whack 100 said. So for the people that's catching up on this who have no idea how this started, we gave our opinion of the fight. We said this was boring. All of us said it was boring. It's 100 niggas saying it's boring. But because I go viral, niggas think that they can keep talking to us. Shakur Stevenson told us to get the strap or strap up, or better yet, put the gloves on so he could fight us. We said what he said, and then he started going crazy.
So look, I gotta ask, I think I'd be remiss if I don't. Any message for Cam and Mace? Y'all been going back and forth a lot over the last week.
Them old niggas, they ain't got my respect. No.
There you go.
Since it's all comedy, I'm going to deal with it like comedy, nigga. You hear that? Like I said, nigga, your mother named you after Shakur, nigga. You know I ain't had no problems with the first Shakur. I ain't going to have no problems with you. Chill out, little nigga. We got the right to have our opinion, and I say that with all due respect, you know, but just keep it where it is, man. Let humor be humor. Let everybody say what they gotta say. You don't like what we said, nigga, box better. Until you beat Tank, it ain't really nothing for you to say. And making threats, I'ma just keep it real. If we talking boxing, I got 3 knockouts in All-Star Weekend, man. So I got 100% knockout ratings on All-Star Weekend if we checking the records.
When you have a young guy like Shakur, instead of fighting his battles or trying to go against everyone that's commenting on him, you should be talking to him on teaching him how to get better.
Let's now discuss the response. Houston quickly became aware of Mace's comments as soon as they were spoken. Jay Prince's name became well-known nationwide in a matter of hours. His camp was unhappy, according to every blog and rumor site. According to insiders, even he was taken aback that a person of Mace's caliber would criticize him in such a way. Jay Prince couldn't believe it, one insider claimed. He is accustomed to being respected and not openly challenged, and it hurt because of that. This was not a troll on the internet. Mace was the one, and it seemed more like humiliation coming from him than hate. When Jay Prince eventually heard about it, he didn't go online or reply. He doesn't move like that. He plays chess rather than checkers, is strategic, and is old school. However, others close to him made hints that private discussions were already taking place behind closed doors. Jay Prince will address it if he feels disrespected, but not on Instagram Live, a blogger from Houston stated. He'll deal with it directly. Social media was rocked by that one sentence. The comment sections erupted in rage. Memes such as, "Pray for Mace," and "He better stay out of Houston for a minute" began to be posted. Everyone knew that something larger was looming and the tension was high. He had no intention of giving up. He immediately got back on it the very following day, intensifying the problem. Mace laughed and remarked, "I heard folks were mad about what I said yesterday in response to Cameron's attempt to defuse the situation." Excellent. They were therefore paying attention. He then went all out, denouncing the phony reverence that permeates hip-hop, people behaving devotedly to particular names merely out of fear. "I respect legacy, but not bullying," he stated. "You don't need to remind folks every 5 minutes if you're sincere." That video clip went viral right away. Fans also claimed that Mace buried Jay Prince without mentioning him by name. The internet was a wild place. Muse was preaching, according to some followers, who felt that hip-hop needed someone to finally speak truth to power. Some felt he was crazy for making fun of someone like Jay Prince, whose name is still heard everywhere, from the streets to the recording studios. It was brilliantly summed up in one post. After waking up, Mace decided between chaos and bravery. The entire game was watched in any case. Even artists began to respond subtly. A few clips were reposted with emoticons for laughter. Others said nothing at all, and that quiet said 1,000 words. The industry was unwilling to take sides. Everyone admires Jay Prince, but they also admire Mace for having the courage to say something that no one else would. It was the infrequent meeting point of two periods: new school freedom versus old school power. and Mace was obviously winning the online round, at least for the time being.
You boring. Everybody's seen it. We ain't the only ones who seen it. You boring. I thought I was rather polite about it. I thought it was cool. Your grandfather's in your corner telling you to let your hands go. You won't let your motherfucking hands go because you scared to get hit. You want to swim without getting wet. It's just not going to happen. Now, what I will say, this is the most entertainment we've seen out of you in the last 2 years. This was kind of funny. This is the most entertainment we've seen out of you in 2 years. Congratulations. After the fight's over, he walks back to the corner like this. That don't look like a champion. Champs start walking around the ring diddy bopping when they beating up. Your grandfather, that's how I know what your grandfather's telling you. They knew you the bag up. You the bag up. You were supposed to show off, show out. Not only that, you was talking before the fight. You was the one before, I'm gonna knock this out. I'm gonna demolish it, I'm gonna do all this. And you ain't do nothing you said. That's why is mad. The point being is this, you fighting more after the fight. You just had a fight Saturday. You're losing your damn mind the last 2 days. Trying to fight everybody on Instagram, on Twitter, or everything else. Because we seen it. We seen it. What is you talking about? Then you talk about we should glove up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But nigga slap fire out you. Nigga, shut the fuck up. You getting boxing in the streets confused, nigga. For real, nigga. Like, stop getting boxing in the street. Those are two different things, nigga. That is two different things, nigga. Because when a switchblade or something out and everything, you talk about niggas better strap up. Why would you give niggas that heads up? You dumb motherfucker. Fuck out of here. You out your motherfucking mind. If you want to impress me, step up and wait. Fight to your Fimo in Newark so he can knock your head to Irvington. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? You ain't impressing nobody with all this Twitter talk. All this wild Twitter talk you talking. Who are you talking about? You're talking about niggas ain't legends. Nigga. Mace, I'll tell you right now, and this, I'm not talking about Mace when he came out and sold. Mace was Michael Jackson after Michael Jackson, before Drake. Nigga sold 5 million in 3 weeks. What is you talking about? But I'm talking about tonight. Tonight, right now, Mace is a 1,000,000% better rapper than you a boxer. 1,000,000%. Don't make me put the battery in his back to Oracle 3, you nigga.
Yeah.
I'll have him Oracle 3. That's what you need to do is Oracle 3, man. And let niggas know, man. He is 1,000,000% better rapper than you a boxer, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Lastly, what I was going to say, Murder, is this. You keep talking about, how they legends, they doing podcasts, this and that. We make more money than you. We sit here and make more money than you. I know you don't want to play the Cash App, open your bank account game on the phone when we see each other. I know you don't want to open the phones up and see how much you got in the account. You made $2 million.
The put this energy into your boxing and start letting your hands go, then you will be a pay-per-view star.
Oh, they podcast. Because we getting chicken. We make more money than you. You better come when you want a job. We might got a job for you. Get the f out of here. Yeah, Murder.
The fact that Mace was able to make fun of Jay Prince without ever mentioning his name made the whole situation even more bizarre. That is the energy of Harlem. Surgical accuracy, smooth delivery, and fluid speech. Mace didn't simply wake up and begin rambling. He had been watching the movements of players in the game. He has witnessed Jay Prince get involved in a variety of issues, such as the Takeoff tragedy and the feud between Drake and Kanye, constantly intervening as a mediator while reminding everyone who is actually in charge. Mace bluntly criticized it, stating, "This game already has too many preachers, but some people want to be God in hip-hop." Boom. The internet was disrupted by that cue. Supporters claimed he wasn't merely making fun of him, he turned the table over completely. A few voices in the industry silently supported Mace behind the scenes. He was merely expressing what everyone else has been muttering for years, they argued. Jay Prince has been untouchable for far too long, an insider said on a podcast. He is never checked by anyone. Someone else said, Mace just proved this new generation isn't scared of the old guard anymore. That's the reality. The game is changing in front of our very eyes. Days later, Jay Prince finally replied with a mysterious Instagram post. White letters on a black background read, "Respect is earned, not demanded." Some people confuse clout with courage, the caption said. Everyone was aware of the target, but Mace chose to laugh during his next performance and declare, "I don't beef with motivational quotes," rather than taking offense. The audience in the studio erupted. He made a joke out of Jay Prince's warning, and without exerting any effort, Mace humiliated him in this way. Online users claimed that Mace had just executed the ultimate power move. He made a notoriously intimidating man appear helpless. That is hip-hop's new reality. No one has any influence over the story once it goes online. During a time when terror pervaded every space, Jay Prince established his legacy. However, social media, podcasts, and cameras have now changed the game. A microphone and a platform are insufficient to silence a man, and Mace had a full understanding of that. He didn't need threats, thus his remarks were more impactful than any dissent. He employed truth, timing, and humor. That poses a far greater risk than fear. By the end of the week, things have become what they are. Broken viewership figures. People were no longer even watching sports. They were curious to hear Mace's next words. He emerged as the new voice for what everyone was thinking but was afraid to express. The Mace who had left the industry's bad boy to become a pastor was back, but this time he was preaching a new type of sermon. Honesty without filter. Harlem style. In a sense, it was poetic. Instead of using fists to flip the game, the preacher switched to telling the truth. And additionally, Jay Prince did not get the final word, for the first time in decades.
Entertainment. Let me school you, Nick. So when you get in the ring, you're not entertaining. We don't want to keep hearing about the sweet science. We're looking for entertainment. We're paying bucks for entertainment, and you're not entertaining. And somebody got to tell you this. I know you flipped out on Tim Bradley, tried to say they paid him to say that. I know you said that Bob Arum panned the cam on people leaving out as you was fighting. But listen, if the fight was smoking, nobody had to walk out. You should not be the main event fighting like the undercard. Your fight was like the undercard. All the smoke was before you. So they need to rearrange how you're going. You're like a headliner that really need to be the opening act. And that's on a business sense. So you need to take note of that.
They call you pillow hands. That's what they call you. I didn't make that up. That's what I heard. They call you pillow hands. But listen, it's room for you here. We need a boxing analyst weekly. We could be your promoter. Yeah. Listen, you never got this much traction. We could, dead serious. I know it's gonna be like, oh, think about it. You in Billboard. You ever been in Billboard? You in Billboard. You on TMZ. You made it. You made it, Nick. You made it. If you need help, we're here. We got you here right now. It's a week and think about it. It's a week and a half after the fight, and we still talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just a difference between big homie and OG. Like, the OGs is that's older than you, more experienced. They've been around and they teaching you. They're keeping you away from danger. They are valuable in your life.
Why do you think that you could tell us what we can and cannot say, my nigga? Control your nigga. Control that. Ain't nobody gonna tell a nigga, get the strap, and then we gonna sit there and be like, hey, I think we should shut up. Nah, this is not 1982, bro. You cannot sit here and tell nigga, get the strap, and then be quiet. Nobody know that part, because I should just be going viral. You bugging, James, you bugging, man. I don't know what bet you talking about, all that other slang then. Bet it, whatever bet you talking about, bet it. I don't know what's bet it. Bet it. You want to bet it? I don't know what to bet it.
Everyone is asking the same thing, now that the smoke is beginning to clear up. Will Jay Prince actually clap back, or will he just let this one go? Up until now, he has remained silent, aside from that one cryptic remark in Furthermore. That quiet conveys a lot. Perhaps he understood that since Mace is currently on fire, criticizing him in public would just make matters worse. His show was doing quite well. His level of confidence is really high. Additionally, he is being referred to by fans as hip-hop's new voice of truth. There is no better time than now. He is expressing what many believe, but never express aloud. The absurd thing is how Mace turned everything around. He didn't retreat, he didn't apologize, and he didn't hide. In all that he said, he stood tall. He even declared, "I don't have a problem with anybody, but I'm not scared of anybody either," during his upcoming performance. That one quote quickly went viral. It became popular as fans began reposting it. Be like Mace and express yourself. You know, the energy changed at that point. He transformed the terror that has pervaded hip-hop for many years into a sense of liberation. Jay Prince, meanwhile, is in an odd situation. Control has always been central to his brand, the composed original, whose admiration was unquestioned. But with a single smirk and a single remark, Mace broke that mystique. Nowadays, terror is not the first thing that comes to mind when someone hears Jay Prince's name. The video of Mace saying "ain't nobody above being checked" comes to mind. In the age of the internet, the power dynamic shifts quickly. The myth turns into a meme after one viral moment. Industry insiders are referring to this as a watershed moment. The next generation of talk show hosts, YouTubers, and podcasters, now they are in charge of the culture. They don't hesitate to examine the elderly, even those referred to as untouchables. Mace just demonstrated it. He took a risk that influencers, executives, and rappers never dared. He gave Jay Prince a human appearance. He is just another man who is subject to criticism like everyone else. He is neither a myth nor a mafia boss. The internet was going crazy by the end of the week, with people making jokes about Mace baptizing Jay Prince live on television. To be honest, it seemed like a cleaning time for the entire game. There was no rudeness. A reset was made. Hip-hop needs a reminder that integrity, not fear, should be the source of respect. You cannot dispute that Mace totally altered the energy, regardless of whether you believe he went too far. Ultimately, Jay Prince still possesses his name, his empire, and his legacy. But Mace has simply demonstrated that words still have actual power, particularly when they are spoken by someone who isn't worried about the consequences. There was no roast here. It wasn't a pursuit of influence. It was a culture shift. The entire globe watched in real time as the Houston boss was humbled by the Harlem preacher. Because the loudest voice isn't always the fiercest in this new era. There are instances when it's just the truth.